Cash is the king. Molim vas za veliki aplauz za Nasera Matloubija ispred kompanije Preko.
Evo za muža, man, XL.
Hi everyone.
Man, XL. Imate i ovdje isto majice.
Hello. Hi everyone. Working? Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. Good to meet you. My name is Nasser Matloubi. I look after business development and partnerships for Bracket in the Baltic and Balkan regions. Bracket is a KPMG-backed Treasury technology company. I spend my days and weeks meeting finance directors, treasury managers, CFOs, just like yourself, all across the region, to understand the challenges they face, and more often than not, the biggest challenge is around FX and cash, and how people are managing their cash. So this is why today I'm here to talk to you about why cash is king, some of the challenges around that, and how Bracket will be able to help you. And I think this year the US dollar has moved more than it has in any year since 1973. Tariffs announced overnight, oil swinging $50 in 3 months. Every move reprices the math for any company in this room, invoicing in one currency and paying in another. And every time it moves, the same question gets asked to finance teams across Europe and in Serbia, of course. How exposed are you right now? How much did that impact your bottom line? I'm going to ask you a simpler version of that question this afternoon. It's Monday, 9 a.m., no crisis, just your CEO walking in the room and asking for a group-wide cash position before a 10 a.m. board meeting. Across all your banks, your countries, your currencies, say 3 or 4, how long does it take your team to get numbers you trust? And how much of that is still being copied from Excel, from CSV files into spreadsheets? I think for a lot of companies around Europe and in this room, the honest answer is probably too much and too long. And the gap between a normal Monday and a crisis is closer than anyone would probably like to admit. So, looking at globally, 52% of all billion-dollar businesses still manage their cash manually. And manually consolidating banking data isn't just slow, it's a tax on every decision a business makes. Cash sitting idle in one account while another runs an overdraft. Payroll not being missed because money wasn't there. FX conversions you didn't have to do because you had money in one account but it wasn't visible. And in this region, I think in Serbia the cost can be higher. You have 20 banks, mostly foreign owned, an MBS that examines intercompany transfers, and a year of tariff whiplash on top of that. And with rates at 5.75% here in Serbia, ensuring optimal cash allocation right now is more important than ever. And so, why is this a problem today? Not a problem for the future or 2030. Firstly, currency. The dollar is down 12% since January 2025. It's the worst run since the 1973 oil crisis. Every tariff headline moves it again. When the dollar drops 1% on a Sunday because of a single Trump tweet, and we know he loves to tweet. Your CEO on Monday morning is going to want to know how many dollars you're holding. And the CFO that can answer that in 30 seconds on using a dynamic dashboard is operating on a different level than the CFO that has to spend hours working that out. Secondly, geopolitics. And even this weekend, we're all here watching the news, looking at Trump trying to make a deal with Iran. Is it on? Is it off? Oil is up, oil is down. And today, I guess oil is down 5 or 6%. There's no deal, but there might be. And the Straits of Hormuz can effectively close on a Tuesday afternoon, and every headline reprices the dinar versus the dollar in real time. And this materially impacts any business, any exporting business in Serbia that's invoicing in dinars and paying suppliers in US dollars. The margins of your business are changing overnight. And the third is counterparty risk. October showed businesses in this country what happens when banks stop processing payments overnight. If this happens again, it's critical to know in real time where your money is and how much capital is available to the business right now. And I suppose the point I'm trying to make is, in this environment, the value of real-time visibility is materially higher than it would be in a more stable environment. And I think, unfortunately, the world that we're living in seems to be becoming more and more crazy and doesn't seem to be settling down at all. So it's important to keep this in mind when you're choosing systems to use. And so what does unified cash visibility return to the business? So if that's the cost of fragmentation, what does unified visibility actually return to you? And I think there are four key things. First, most finance teams in mid-market companies spend hours each week logging onto bank portals, downloading CSV files, and consolidating balances into spreadsheets. With automating cash visibility and reporting, that work disappears. The same team can focus on funding strategy, FX policy, banking relationships, the work that actually moves the business forward. And barring that, on a lovely summer's day like it is today, spring in Belgrade, you can spend a little bit more time in the city drinking white wine and appreciating the sun. The second is capital efficiency. When you see every balance across the group in real time, idle cash becomes visible. You can deploy it into interest-bearing accounts or use it to cover overdrafts in another entity, instead of paying interest on both sides of the balance sheet. The third is FX discipline, enabling you to be able to see balances across every entity at once. You spot natural hedging opportunities, receivables in one place, offset payables in another, before you transact FX. Every FX conversion you avoid is margin that the business keeps. And the fourth is control at scale. Every CFO knows the challenges businesses have with data discrepancies. One piece of data in one place, another piece of data in another, and you spend a lot of time trying to work out what data is correct. With a single source of truth feeding categorized data into your ERP, internal system, Power BI, via an API, with that same data flowing to every system, there's no longer financial mismatches across the group. So you have 4 returns, all measurable and all compounded. This is what we built. One source of truth, every bank, every entity, every currency in real time. And let me show you how it works. So, Bracket connects into 15,000 banks globally. Asia, Mexico, Africa, most importantly in this market, Serbia, OTP Revision. The system has got every bank covered via a multi-protocol approach. We leverage direct banking APIs, infrastructure partners we work for, and Swift to connect all your banks in one place. Either way, you don't have to consolidate your banks. We have a system to fit your current setup. Once connected, you get a unified view across your cash positions, every entity, every country, every currency in one place. The process that consumed your time logging into bank portals, pulling CFCs, building spreadsheets is replaced by a real-time dashboard. Idle cash becomes identifiable. Balances surface instantly when you need to make a payment or run FX conversions. And categorized banking data feeds directly into your ERP and internal systems via an API. One source of truth replacing all of that reconciliation work. For mid-market finance teams, the results are straightforward. The same team handles a more complex operation with better data in a fraction of the time. And I suppose in this day, it's impossible to avoid AI. And we created an AI layer that really, where bracket starts becoming a finance team multiplier. The part I want CFOs in this room to focus on, pay attention to today, is the reporting. You can ask Bracket in plain language for any report you need. Show me the cash balances across all currencies and subsidiaries over the past 6 months. Show me every payment over 50,000 euros this quarter. You get the report immediately. You schedule it, you run it weekly, monthly, every board meeting. And what I see in mid-market companies in Europe at the moment isn't that they don't want to be strategic, it's that they don't have the time to invest into building these strategies, into implementing these systems. And so we have an auto-categorization tool that will learn the categories of transactions and automatically categorize them so that you get that data categorized, feeding into your system, and then have the ability to run any report on top of that. The data was always there, brackets just makes it accessible. And so before I let you go, I'll give you one example. UK-based fintech, 180 million in revenue, active across 11 countries globally, just under 100 banks, no visibility. They came to us because they missed payroll, not because the money wasn't there, because they had plenty of cash, just the processes weren't there. Their process was what you'd call, if you're running on spreadsheets at the moment, log into each bank account, pull a CSV, paste it into Excel, run pivot tables, wait for all the data to flow in, hope nothing changes. It took many hours each day, it was error prone, and they still got it wrong. We connected to all of their banks in 6 weeks, direct APIs, infrastructure partners, Swift, the rest. 6 weeks, every account, every currency, one place. The hours that consumed the team each week were gone, and the same team now can manage their business across 11 currencies with zero friction. And I suppose I don't see that as a software story. It's a story about a finance team getting their time back. So finally, I think it's important to know there's two things that we see pushback when we're looking at dealing with new customers, and it's the cost and the time of implementation. From a costing standpoint, our platform is super affordable and designed for mid-market companies within this region. And from an implementation side, typically implementation takes no longer than 8 to 12 weeks, requires no IT lift on your team, and enables us to get everything connected almost instantly. So I'm in Belgrade this week. If I've said anything today that resonates with you guys, if your team is still consolidating cash manually, if it's harder than it should be, then come speak to me. Happy to put some time in the diary later this week and run through what real-time cash visibility looks like for your business. That's it, and thank you for having me here today.
Thank you.